All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming by the BenQ stand here at BenQ, it's EduTECH. It's EduTECH 2022, or AKA BenQ 2022. Thank you for the woo. And today, as part of the Education Academy, we have some really special guests. Thrilled to have them with us again. This is the Year 6 team from Our Lady of the Pines in Donvale. Woohoo! Big cheer. And they were the very first graduates of our BenQ Junior Academy. So today they're here to share their experiences with the BenQ panels, share some knowledge with us, and actually there's a lot that I don't know about this presentation as well, so I'm very excited. So I'm going to hand you over to the first two, Claudia and Isabella, and a big round of applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Claudia.
And my name is Isabella, and today we will be explaining to you what the TechOLOPy Team is and what the BenQ Junior Academy is. What is the Junior Academy? The Junior Academy was to collaborate with teachers and students to enhance student learning with BenQ technology. BenQ used their skills and technology to interact with us and see learning from a different perspective. This is what we did as the first day part of the BenQ Junior Academy. Way back in March, we got invited by the BenQ team to go to Quest Hotel and be Australia's first Junior Academy, BenQ Junior Academy. We learnt how to use the boards and the technology behind the boards, for example, the germ-resistant screens, and tested our knowledge to play a game of Kahoot. We got interviewed by the BenQ staff for their Australian case study and received certificates and gift bags.
The TechOLOPy Team is an enthusiastic group of Year 6 students who were chosen by the TechOLOPy Team of 2021. We help other students gain knowledge of technology and how to use it. Along the way, we also gain confidence in speaking like we are all doing today. Oops. So as you can see here, over the year we have been working on different projects, like here today, EduTECH, and hopefully coming up in term 4 would like to travel to Sydney to meet up with the BenQ team again and to show them how we use this interactive flat panel on a daily basis in the classroom.
Here are some of the benefits of being a part of the BenQ Junior Academy. We have the choice to be a part of we have the chance to be part of opportunities such as EduTECH today, and we get to help teachers and students use the BenQ Interactive Flat Panels, which we learnt how to use at the Junior Academy. It helps us build confidence and push us out of our comfort zone so we can eventually become confident in public speaking. We get to work with people we wouldn't normally work with, such as the BenQ team, and we get to experience real-world workplaces such as Zoom meetings, working collaboratively, and meeting deadlines to prepare us for our future.
So at the start of the year, our school purchased these interactive flat panels, which have heaps of different features and functions to have fun with and play around with. The rest of our TechOLOPy team today will be showing you what we learnt from the BenQ team with these interactive flat panels and how we use them in the classroom. Thank you, and I'll hand it over to Zorova and Jake.
Thank you, Claudia and Isabella, for that. My name is Zorova.
And my name's Jake.
And today we're going to be teaching you about the interactive flat panels. So an interactive flat panel is...
So an interactive flat panel is interactive, which means you can touch it and it moves. It's flat and it's a panel, which means it has a screen. What more can you tell me about this IP?
Well, if you click this button down here, it'll bring up all the connections that you need. If you click this settings button here, it'll bring up the Connections tab, the General tab, the Network tab, the Device tab, and the System tab. If you click this one here, it'll bring up all the apps and the widgets, which is pretty helpful if you want to get something up really quickly. What else can you do, Jake?
There's also this really helpful sidebar there, and it has a lot of useful buttons. The first one allows you to go to the home screen, which we're already on. The second one allows you to undo anything you've done in case you've made a mistake. And that one there allows you to go into all of your recent tabs, so that's really helpful. The fourth one allows you to go into EZWrite, which we're going to come back to. And the second last one allows you to freeze the screen. And that's really helpful. You can like click exit freeze when you want to exit it. And the last button allows you to bring up the floating toolbar. What is another way you can bring up the floating?
So another way you can bring up the floating toolbar is if you put two fingers on the screen. And now there's a lot of features on the floating toolbar. First, you can draw on it, do whatever you want, and you can also use a highlighting feature. And if you click the hand with the one finger showing out, it'll hide whatever you've done. And the next one, if you're talking about space, for instance, you can like write anything about space and capture a screenshot and save it to your files. And the next one can record the screen of whatever you're doing. So we'll just cancel that one for now. This one can bring up all the files. Oh, well, this one's the toolbox, sorry. And the others are going to be teaching you about that one later, sorry. This one can erase whatever you've done on the screen. And this next one is a laser pointer, which is pretty cool.
There's also this little icon in the corner, and if you click personal settings, it allows you to change your wallpaper and your thumbnail. Your thumbnail is your little icon in the left. And now we're going to go into EZWrite. Click the, yeah.
And on EZWrite, you can draw on it, do whatever you want, and there's a lot of different features on EZWrite. There's a highlighting feature, and also 2 people can draw at the same time, and we can also choose different colors. Which is pretty cool in the classroom if you want 2 people to come up and show what you've done. Another way you can erase this is that you can use your hand to erase it. You can, and also whatever you click for this one, whatever you click will get rid of it. And if you click this next button here, it'll erase everything you've done on the screen, which is a more efficient way of getting rid of everything.
Oh, and also if you click the pen, you can draw, or you can change the color, and you can select your own custom color and a color wheel. And then you can save it and you can draw on it. You can also change like the thickness of your pen. Yeah, like that.
And you know how normal interactive flat panels, they only have like a 1-point touch, which is pretty boring, you know? And this one, it has not only a 1-point touch, it has a 10-point touch. And also it has even a 15-point touch. And this whiteboard can also go up to 40-point touch, which we can't demonstrate right now though. Thank you for listening, and next up is Zach and Luke.
Hello everybody, I'm Luke.
And I'm Zach.
And today we're going to be talking to you about a few specific features on the EZWrite software on these BenQ boards.
Okay, so our first couple of features that we're going to be showcasing you guys is the toolbox in the corner of the toolbar down here. And so when Luke clicks that, it will show 10 features, but right now we're going to show you the top 4. So, as you can see, our first feature is a ruler. Very useful if you want to draw anything with straight lines or whatever you need. So Luke, as you can see, can use the pen tool and draw a straight line along the side. Change the thickness, as you see Zara and Jake showed you guys, and then it does what it needs. Next, Luke will erase that and show us the next feature, the protractor. This one is very useful for drawing angles, so if you're doing an angles unit at school or just whatever else you need an angle for, you can see he'll choose the angle he wants, in this case 47 degrees. Then he can fill in the angle, and then he can click that other button which will put the end of the angle, and so Luke can write in the angle, estimate it, and do whatever he needs. Our next tool, when Luke opens the toolbox after he clears the screen, is the compass tool. So he can import that and move it around whatever you need and change the thickness. So this will draw a perfect circle when Luke clicks the draw button and circles it around. And he can draw as many lines as he wants with the same center point. So you can make a shape like that for a target or whatever you need a circle for.
So Zach erases the screen after that. There's also a lot more features. So the next one we're going to do is this one. So this one, Zach can now go onto that, make his angle, and then now with the angle he does that there and has the angle. So with the Zach X. So with the next feature is the calculator feature. So on the calculator features, Zach can do basically most equations, well, all equations. So Zach can now write a bunch of different equations on the screen. So for an example, 7 times 9 equals, and then it gives his students a chance to, well, figure out the answers, and then once his students have figured out the answer, 53, he can then type it up on his calculator, and there, gets the right answer. So that's the toolbox. There's a bunch of other features in it, but that's all me and Zach are going to be talking to. So the next 2 features are the selection tool. So Zach can write, let's just say, write a D. So then Zach now gets the selection tool and presses the easy, and now he has the D. So that works with sentences and So that works with sentences and a bunch of other things like lines and that. So now Zach has the room tool. So with the room tool, he can invite a member. So this is helpful if he's in a classroom and all the students in the classroom can access what he's writing on from this screen on their own devices. I don't think we can do it right now because we're not connected to internet, but when you press it, it comes up with a website link, a code, and a QR code for them to scan. So this is really helpful. Let's hope we don't, but if we do go back into distance learning, they can access what the teacher's doing from their own devices at home. There's also the recording feature that we've already talked about before. So next up is Natalie and Angela.
Thanks, Luke and Zach. My name's Angela.
And my name's Natalie.
And we're going to be talking to you about more of the features of this amazing board. So the first one are the templates.
The templates are located in the bottom right corner. You can change the color, import your own, and change the color. So they are also located in the middle. So if you're a sport teacher, for example, you can choose the basketball court and write in position. There. You can write in positions for your students.
The next feature is called Pages, if Angela wants to.
So yeah, the pages are also in the bottom right corner over there, and you can add more pages. You can duplicate some, which is what Natalie just did. Add more, delete more. You can't delete the first one, it'll only clear it though. So that's handy if you're drawing like a base, then you can duplicate it and solve it 2 different ways or do something with it 2 different ways so that you don't have to redraw it. Yeah, now we're going to go into the toolbox.
The toolbox is also in the middle. The first on the bottom row is called the timer. If Angela just wants to do 3 seconds, it'll tick and then it'll make a noise. The next is the stopwatch.
You can start the stopwatch and pause it, lap it and split it. So this is really good if you want to see how fast your students can solve something or see what level they're at, just so they can try and beat their score to get faster at it and get better at it. So yeah. The next feature is the scoreboard. In the scoreboard you can have up to 8 teams and you can give them different points for a quiz. If you're doing a quiz, then you can give them different points and see who's winning and keep tally of how everybody's going. The next feature is the draw.
So with the draw you can range up to 99 and you can have up to 8 draws. If you press start, it'll draw 2 random numbers. So for example 16 and 22. You can also write down, like for example 16 plus 22, which is 38.
Our last feature in the toolbox is the 3 screens, or 2 if you want. So we're going to choose 3. So on this you can set a question for your students to answer over there, say 2 times 3. And then you can have those students come up and answer them in different ways, in the different colours, so that you can have them come up and have their own little section to draw on. So, come up and solve it in a different way. So this is good for seeing how your students can solve this, letting them know how they can solve it and in different ways, and challenging themselves to do it rather than just the simple basic way. The also cool thing about 3 screens is that if you're drawing on one section, you can't go into the other person's section. So you don't go onto their work when they're writing or working out something, and you can just have your own little space. That's all, I think, from us. So now we're going to pass over to Mrs. Holman.
Sorry, just taking selfies. So we've been partnered with BenQ since the beginning of this year. We actually tried to do it last year, but distance learning stopped us. But we've made this year's TechOLOPy Team the first junior academy with BenQ of Australia, which has been amazing. And one of the benefits has been being able to see these kids in action. They've actually put their learning to work and taught kids about their new panels in the classroom. Later this term we're hoping that they actually do a bit of professional learning for our teachers, because some of our teachers are still not familiar with their boards, because as we know, adults take a little bit longer with tech. So our kids are actually going to stay, hopefully, some of their parents don't know yet. We're going to ask if they can stay back one afternoon and help our teachers to learn more about their panels, to help them out and give them all the pointers, because these boards have actually helped improve their daily learning and just things like this that you wouldn't be able to do on your flat panel, or even lots of schools just have screens that they project to. So they've become really influential in our school to improve the students' learning. But not only that, you can see that being part of the BenQ Junior Academy has really built that student voice. These guys have been able to step up to the plate, become a bit more mature, being able to do things like this, which is very, very challenging, very daunting. So we're very proud of them today. But yeah, they've done such an amazing job, and we're so happy to be and honoured to be invited by BenQ and be part of their first Junior Academy. Selin, would you like to add something too?
Hi everyone, thanks for having us at the at our first TechOLOPy at EduTECH 2022. It's been a great experience for the children. So my role at LID The Pines is I purchase a lot of devices because I work across 20 different schools, and it's about finding the right technology for learning. I mean, you could look around here today at EduTECH and you can see all this great technology, but is it going to impact and really improve student learning? So my job is to play with a whole bunch of different technology, and after I've done extensive research and I've obviously purchased for other schools as well, we decided that BenQ was the right technology for us and for our school. So obviously the children have showed you all the functions. They've probably done a better job than some of the demos we've seen. They've shown you all the functions, and I get to see these in classrooms and how they work and how they're very consistent. So obviously we have teachers with all different skill levels. Like from very low skill level, they just plug in and then they use the whiteboard. And then we have the more experienced teacher with technology, and they'll have like the 9 screens up there. And at the end of the day, it's about improving student learning, and that's what we are seeing with the BenQ panel, because we know as soon as we plug in, it's ready to go. Some of the panels we use, you plug in, you have to go to the source, change things. Teachers aren't going to use technology if it's not consistent. So that's what we find with the BenQ panels. It also has 5 years warranty, and we have Andrew, who's our Victorian BenQ person here, and he's always just around the corner helping us if we have any questions. And of course we have the support of BenQ Australia. So yeah, we're very lucky. It's excellent to see a company put so much into student learning. I mean, they can just sell a box, but really they've gone further, which is why we love working with them. And we look forward to teaching them, because we're going to go up to Sydney in Term 3 kids, and we're going to teach them how to use their technology, but in a classroom setting. So yeah, so thank you so much for having us, BenQ and EduTECH. Woohoo! All right, we'll hand back to Martin now.
Sorry, I'm an uninvited guest. No, but thank you very much to the teachers, Brendan, and everybody for arranging today. It was great to see you all again. I won't take up too much more of your time. Thank you for everything again today. We really look forward to seeing you in Sydney before the end of the year, so fingers crossed with COVID and everything, it all turns out fine, and we'll welcome you there. And we'll continue on another step of the journey. So thanks again for everything today, and see you next time. Thanks everyone.